It's your daily dose of Donna. Welcome to the show. Today is Tuesday, July 2nd. We just have one more day of this week, the short week. Are you guys taking Friday off? Are you working? Excuse me. Hi. Hi, loves. I am so happy to spend today with you. Why? Because you make me happy when skies are gray. But skies are not gray today. They're beautiful. They're blue. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous day here in Los Angeles. And I'm sure it's hot and warm wherever you guys are. Here in LA, it's going to hit 90s this weekend. But I'm going to be spending some time up in like Oxnard, Ventura area this weekend. So follow along because I'll take you guys to Garcelle's beach house. That's my plan. Not really. I'm not going to like hang out with her, but I'm sure I can find it. It's funny. Randomly, I was talking to talk about the crazy random stories, right? But I was talking to my son's camp nurse. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. My son's that kind of kid. All right. He's the kind of kid that when he goes to camp, when he goes to school, I become very close with those nurses. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you have those kids? Do you have those kids? So I was on the phone with my son's camp's nurse. And she mentioned, she was asking what I did because I got a text from her during yesterday's show and I had to like multitask because I got a text saying, I got him here. He hit his head. I'm going to call dad. And I'm like, oh God, I'm trying to multitask, do the show and talk about God knows what I was talking about yesterday. Right. And so as it's happening, I'm just trying to, whatever. I get on the phone with her and she goes, so Dylan told me you do a podcast every day. What's your podcast about? And this is the moment where I have to start to be like, okay, I'm going to admit to my son's nurse at camp that I do a podcast talking about reality TV and pop culture and celeb gossip. I was like, just ripping off the Band-Aid. So, nurse, yes, I talk about the housewives. I talk about Bravo. I talk about, Bethany Frankel. And a lot of times Tori Spelling gets in there. And if it's a good day, we're talking about Carl Radke and sometimes Sister Wives. And she said to me, oh my gosh, they were shooting Real Housewives of Beverly Hills just on my street last week. And I said, oh, no way. Really? Tell me. She goes, yes, they were shooting right at this new house. And I said, that's Garcelle's house. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we'll be right over there. It will be fun. Anyway, okay. Today on Daily Dose of Donna, we have an update from Katie Maloney. She was on Not Skinny But Not Fat, one of my favorite podcasts. I heart Amanda Hirsch. And she gave us an update on how she's feeling about some of those VPR peeps. We also need to talk about Casa Amor. And if you don't watch Love Island, don't you worry. I'm going to shock you with some of this information. I was shocked last night. I'm still shocked. And there's a couple other stories that I have going on for you. Don't you worry. I'm going to keep you guys so interested today on today's Say It With Me Daily Dose of Donna. Okay. Today is I see a lot of you guys are in the comments saying like wow, Casa Amor. Yeah, they did the Love Island girls dirty last night and I ain't happy. I'm not happy about it. One thing I do want to talk about is that I finished America's Sweethearts, the Netflix documentary about the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. And I was so touched by this program. I was touched by this program right before I watched Jeopardy with my grandparents program. Who am I? Who talks this way program? But I was so touched by it. And I really do believe that Kelly, the main coach, the main director of the program, is maybe possibly one of the most like just passionate, hardworking women I've ever seen on a TV show. She takes such good care of her job, and she's so good at it. But part of being really good at your job as like a coach or a teacher is being tough. And she has to do some of the hardest things out there, which is like break these women's hearts by giving them notes, by giving them feedback, by cutting them from the team, etc. I really felt for this one girl, Victoria, because Victoria is a legacy cheerleader, meaning her mom cheerled. How do you say cheerleaded? Cheerled. How that cheered. She cheered. Her mom cheered back in like, whatever. I don't know, the 70s, 80s, probably later. Victoria's like 20 years old. I'm thinking like my mom's age. She probably cheered in the 90s. But she is really she just has a lot of pressure. And why I really felt for her is she the best dancer? Absolutely not. You can see it right off the bat. But because Kelly, the head director, cheered with her mom and grew up with Victoria like as kind of like a she said she was the second person that held her after her mom. She's kind of like a surrogate mom to this Victoria. You could tell this like torn feeling. Like, I don't know what to do with you. I don't know where to put you. I don't know what to do with you. She has tried out every year. You have to re-audition, which is just a wild concept. Like that's got to be so hard, by the way, to re-audition every year. And then what happened was, I think why my heart broke for her was the fact that she just could not get in with these girls socially. She obviously, like, she talks about her struggles with anxiety, with depression, with eating disorders, et cetera, through the years. But she also, like, it's so interesting to me. Her mom was like, she makes friends wherever she goes. When she's at dance class, like, she is the belle of the ball. But with this organization, she just can't make friends. And she celebrates her birthday, you guys, her 24th birthday, in the most sad way I have ever seen. Did you guys remember this scene? If you watched it, Victoria celebrates her birthday, her 24th birthday. When you're 24, you're supposed to be like out with your girlfriends, partying it up, having fun, right? With a living room, a dining room filled with balloons, like filled. Like her mom spent $300 on balloons. A cake this big, a pink cake with like all the candles on it, and her mom. And when I tell you, I was so depressed watching the scene, I didn't know how to handle it. Meaning, like, the cameras get there and she's like, sorry, we're in the middle of recording a TikTok. She was recording a TikTok with her mom. That depressed me. Anyway, please go and watch the documentary. It's a fast watch. Yes, Victoria is an old soul. Kelly is here. Yay. Okay, welcome to everyone that's kind of popping on in. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following the show audio-wise. If you want to be part of the conversation more, you can always join the Facebook group. That's at Daily Dose of Donna on Facebook. You can join Patreon for extra content. You can join members only here for extra videos. I mean, I'm everywhere. There's too much of me. I agree. I agree. And so does Lance. So does my husband. He's like, there's too much of you everywhere I look. And I say, everywhere you look, everywhere. I am literally your full house. Okay. I want to Okay, let's keep going and let's just start chatting about some of the stories. But before I do that, let's just bring up today's or this week's sponsor of Daily Dose of Donna, and that is brought to you by LOLAVIE.com. LOLAVIE is the award-winning hair care by Jennifer Aniston. If you are just like me, you're out, you're in the summer. The summer puts our hair through hell with chlorine, with beach, with sand, with sun. And so this product line, LOLAVIE, is critical because it has products that not only repair the look of the damage, but also shield your locks from further harm. Enter LOLAVIE. It's clean, plant-powered, plant-powered products for every hair type and texture. My favorite, of course, is the shampoo and conditioner, but I use that glossing detangler and the leave-in conditioner every day. And you know what's so funny is I don't look like Jennifer Aniston, but I think if I continue to use LOLAVIE, I will start to look like Jennifer Aniston, right? Isn't that how hair products work? At least my hair will. I have my hair up now because I took a really late shower. My whole morning was a little bit delayed. But every single time that I wear my hair down and I blow dry it out, someone is always like, "Oh, your hair looks so healthy." And I say, "Hey, LOLAVIE. Thank you, LOLAVIE." So you guys can get 15% off all your LOLAVIE products by going to LOLAVIE, LOLAVIE.com, and using the code Donna. That's Donna, spell Dana, DANA. Go to LOLAVIE.com and use the code Donna for 15% off. Okay. Let's see my lineup today. I have a crazy lineup. JoJo Siwa. Let's talk about this insanity that's happening. So I have to be honest, one of my really close friends used to work in the music department at Nickelodeon. He was like one of the top music supervisor. I don't know exactly his title, but he had like a big executive job when it came to like the music industry around Nickelodeon. Okay. Disney and Nickelodeon, they all have their music people. And so he is very close with JoJo Siwa and JoJo Siwa's mom. And I asked yesterday, I said, "Are you still very close to them with them?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Can you tell me anything?" And he goes, "I can't speak about it." So I was shocked to hear that this story. And as Andrew likes to call her, No Siwa, JoJo Siwa is booed at an NYC Pride concert as the former Dance Moms star hits back and says, respectfully, F you. That's what she said. Respectfully, though. She clapped back at a hater allegedly booing her as she headlined Pride Disco, which was held at Central Park Summer Stage in Manhattan last Saturday. Who the living F just booed me? Where the F did that come from? Which one of you? Which one of you? The 21-year-old Dance Moms alum yelled at the audience. Then she held up a handmade sign promoting her new single, Guilty Pleasure, and told the unseen offender, respectfully, F you. Now, I was curious. So I went over to check out JoJo Siwa's performance. And I'm going to give you guys a little bit of it on Instagram. This is from JoJo herself. Listen, I will tell you something, okay? I will tell you a little bit about how I feel about JoJo Siwa, but I bless her that she has the ability to really kind of like do her thing. Bless her. But this is it's a new person. It is a new person. Check out JoJo Siwa's new content. This is just from Pride. Actually, I'm going to mute it because I don't want. Hold on, where's the actual video? Here we go. I'm going to mute it because I don't want to get like copyright stuff. So we'll just talk over it. Okay. Well, let's see what the noise is. That's songs. I don't want to. So if you're not watching the video, you can go and watch it. She's got teddy bears on her head and teddy bears on her boobs. She's pounding. Is that whiskey? She's pounding whiskey. She's humping the floor. She's having maybe like what looks like a seizure. She's masturbating. Okay, good. She is living her best life. Living her best life. Okay. So I will tell you something, and I'm going to sound like a grandma right now. Are you guys ready? I'm going to sound like a grandma. My kids liked JoJo Siwa, like when they were kids, right? Lance went to her house when she was on Dancing with the Stars, and they were so excited because they saw her house. Like they saw videos and pictures of her house and all the bubble gum and all the candy and all the brightness and the fun and da. All I know is this. Oliver is my 9-year-old. And we were talking about a certain kind of dance, like a trendy dance the other day. The four of us were laughing about it in the living room. And Oliver said, if JoJo Siwa did this, then it would be like this. And the way he danced was just like what I showed you. He grabbed his crotch and he started humping the and like getting on the floor. And I was like, stop. What is happening? And he's like, that's how JoJo Siwa dances. And I thought to myself, I am officially old because that is out of control. Like Put that on OnlyFans, put that shit somewhere else. But her fan base is kids still. Like, I don't see a lot of 40-year-old dancing to JoJo. Like, who would you say listens to JoJo Siwa? Probably like 16 and below, right? It's bad. It's bad. It's a lot. So someone booed her and she lost her shit. But I don't know. Maybe this is a little bit presumptuous of me, but I'm gonna guess it had something to do with the fireball. Was that fireball that she was drinking that she was pounding on the stage? Do you think her mom is proud, scared, concerned? I think JoJo Siwa is just dying to be Miley Cyrus. Like, I think that's really her goal, is like she just wants to be like Miley, right? She's just being Miley. It's it's a lot. Andrew says that her primary fan base is trailer park lesbians. Andrew, you said that, not me. I speak from my people. Leslie says she wasn't actually drinking it. She was pretending. But how do we know? Like, do we know that? Did she say it? Either way, you're pounding fireball as a pretend thing. Like, that's kind of, I don't know. I'm gonna go no Siwa on that. It's not for me. I'm not a Siwa, or what do you call her people? A sea world? What do you call it? Sea wallaby? Siwa Siwa yeehaw. Okay, let's go to the next story. Dee McDermott, speaking of alcohol, Dee McDermott celebrates 1 year of sobriety. And I have to tell you, I think this is a wonderful move for Dean. So obviously, Dean and Tori are getting divorced. We know this. We know that they have ended their relationship, and we know that they are, no longer, which is good, I think, for all parties. But he was clearly abusing alcohol. He spoke about that many times. I guess it would come out with a lot of anger. It would be, he would isolate himself. He would get very depressed. He would leave the rooms and like, or shut down and like close himself in a room. But he posted a photo on Instagram on Tuesday of a hand painted poster that read 1 year, 12 months, 365 days, 8,760 hours. And he placed a series of sobriety coins, including his 1 year chip, as well as a piece of paper with blue tallies on it all over the poster. Um, he said, last week was an incredible week of love, hugs, and recovery. Thank you to my sponsor, my sponsee brothers, and everyone in the fellowship for celebrating my 1 year birthday. He gave a special thanks to Harmony Place, which is a drug and alcohol rehab, for saving his life. He said, if you're struggling with addiction, just surrender and ask for help. We're here waiting to love you until you love yourself. A beautiful life awaits you. Yeah, he said at the time that alcohol made him feel good enough, and then he was feeling good enough until it got a point where he didn't feel good enough, and he continued to drink, because I believe that that's how addiction works. It's like more and more and more, and then it's a cycle. You do it to feel better, and it makes you feel worse, so you do it to feel better, and so on and so forth. I am so happy for him that he is sober, and now he can hopefully focus on being a good dad to his brood of kids. He has so many of them. All right. Next story. Karen Reed. Guys, what are we going to do about this? This is really wild. So I've talked about this multiple times. I am not a legal expert. Can you tell? I know that you know that I am as intelligent as them, but I do like following these cases. And I admit I did feel so lost with Karen Reed, because if you did not get into the Karen Reed story like early on, when I say early on, it's like the beginning of the trial, I felt like it was too much. You know how that happens like on TV shows? You almost feel like there's way too much. How can I get into this show now? It's like we're done already. So I really just pulled away from it, thinking, oh, hopefully it just blows over. But the more and more people talked about it last week, I found myself on Emily Baker video, Emily D. Baker over here on YouTube. I love her so much. I think she's phenomenal, so smart. And she posted an entire, an entire story all about kind of like the tidbits, like things you need to know. So I started going down that path. Then I started getting on a TikTok deep dive, and I really, really was invested. So I got really invested on like day 2 of jury deliberation to decide if she was found guilty or innocent of committing this crime of killing this police chief, her ex. And sure enough, yesterday, right after the show ended, right after our show ended, I went over to Emily D. Baker, who was streaming live. And sure enough, it ended in a mistrial. Oh my gosh, hold on. Stop the presses. Just Josh, my boy, my YouTube moderator over here, gifted 5 Daily Dose of Donna memberships. Wow, that is so sweet. I guess congratulations. I don't know. I don't know who got it. I'll have to go over to the YouTube feed to see who got it, because it doesn't say where I am over here, but that's so exciting. Um, so anyway, Karen Reed's trial ends up in a mistrial, meaning the jury was at a deadlock and could not actually come up with what's the word? Like an answer. Can you tell I'm such a legal expert? A judge declared a mistrial after jurors deadlocked in the polarizing and much watched case of Karen Reed, a woman accused of striking her Boston police officer boyfriend with her SUV and leaving him to die in a snowstorm, which personally I do not believe she did. Prosecutors say they intend to retry the case, in which the defense asserted that Reed had been framed by police. Verdict. Thank you guys so much. I'm so happy that you're smarter than me, dozers. On the 5th day of deliberation, jurors sent Judge Beverly Canone a note saying they remained at an impasse in the case involving the January 2022 death of John O'Keefe. And within moments, a trial that had lasted 2 months and featured over 600 pieces of evidence and more than 70 witnesses was just over. Okay. Obviously, I believe, like, I don't really know why a jury can end up in deadlocked if you can't come to a conclusion, right? If you can't come to a conclusion and you don't have enough to actually all be on one side, because from what I know about juries, and I've never actually been on a jury, but just from what I know, everyone on the jury has to come up with a unanimous decision. It's not right. Am I right? It's not like 75% come to it. It's everyone. It has to be unanimous decision for people to decide. And unfortunately, yes, verdict has to be unanimous, so all 12 have to agree. And yes, I mean, so we don't really know. Someone just asked, who asked here? Heather said, do we know what the jury split was? I don't know what the jury split was. I'm not seeing it on any of the accounts that I follow. But even if one person, just one, was like, I don't fully believe A, B, and C, and went away against the rest of the jury, unfortunately, like, what's done is done. So what's crazy about this, the worst part about it, is poor Karen Reed, because in my opinion, I don't believe that there's enough evidence in any capacity to mark her as guilty. Personally, that's just the little bit that I've seen. And I would say that's a pretty majority thought, right? Like if you guys actually, are commenting here, if you believe that she should be guilty or not guilty, I think the majority of you guys believe that she also is innocent of this. But it's so frustrating. This poor woman's life is just completely on hold and just on a pause. Do you know how much stress you must be under to be the defendant in a murder case? In a homicide case with the entire world watching, like, your name will always for the rest of your life be synonymous with this case, regardless what happens. Obviously, even if she is, announced not guilty down the line. So she's just in this waiting period, and it's just so sad. It's just so sad. They had so much evidence. They had so much going on. This has been going on for 2.5 years, yes, and it's still, like, not going away. This poor woman's life. Ugh, you know what? Sometimes you just have to thank your lucky stars that you're not in a murder trial, in a homicide trial. I'm just really glad I'm here with you guys. That's what I'm saying. Like, let's just all take a moment, wherever you are in your life right now, wherever your situation is. If you have your health and if you have your freedom, that's all we can hope for in life. And here we are, 4th of July is this week, and I'm so grateful for both of those things at this moment. Sometimes it's important just to take a second and just like be grateful. Also, like Paige DeSorbo, very scared of jail. Very, very scared of jail. And for me, I don't personally yeah, that's shit that keeps me up at night. I couldn't watch Orange Is the New Black because jail just gives me the EBGBs. I don't know about you guys. Speaking of Paige DeSorbo, she's our next story. So Paige DeSorbo has been living a life of dreams. Like I talked about this a little briefly yesterday. Paige DeSorbo obviously spent her entire summer so far in Italy. She was with her family and Craig for a while, and then she went to Saint Tropez for a wedding that looked beyond. Now, let me show you some pictures of this wedding just from what I saw, just from her little like clip of it. And I have to this day never seen a wedding that like has this kind of an entrance. Whose wedding was it, you're wondering? Well, so was I. And I'll give you guys the whole story. But first, I want to explain to you why she's a news article or a news story is because Paige DeSorbo's fans have criticized her sheer corset dress at a friend's wedding, saying it's an epic fail because people are feeling like her dress was a little too inappropriate for a wedding. So I would like for you guys to, I don't know, let me know if you agree with these people. This was the dress. Okay. Look, I think she is the most gorgeous thing ever in the world. And I don't know if this would be the most appropriate dress if like you're going to a wedding at a church or a temple or a, really religious ceremony. But I don't think you guys understand, those of you that don't think it's an appropriate wedding. I don't think you could really fully understand this kind of an event that she was at. It is insane. So let's keep looking. Number one, that dress is stunning. So, yes, this picture makes it look like she's just wearing a little cover up. But in this picture, it's really appropriate. And could you guys imagine a prettier? Like, she's so pretty to me that I don't even know how to handle it. My friend who just started watching Summer House because of this season, because I forced her to, she just texted me the other day. She's like, I am so obsessed with Paige. Like, I don't know how to handle it. Like, I'm in love with a woman for the first time. She's so beautiful. Look at her with my boyfriend. Look at my boyfriend and his girlfriend. How gorgeous is this couple? Am I like wrong to think that they are the most handsome couple ever? Let's keep going. So this is the wedding. This is, I guess, at the party. It says Club Spite. And I did some research, and I guess the husband or the groom is a former football player. And the bride is a stylist. So maybe that's how they know Paige. Look at this entrance. Number one, shout out to the kippah that I see right in front of me. Love it. That's the yarmulke, the Jewish yarmulke. Look at these men standing on the most insane flowers I've ever seen. This is, I guess, not into the ceremony. This is into the reception. What in the actual is happening here? I mean, such a beautiful wedding. Such a good-looking couple. These two, like, they take it every time. So, if you wanted to do a little bit more, research into it, I did. Of course, I do that for you. Wilton, that's his name, Wilton Spite. I'm always interested in these really rich people. Who are they? Who are they? So this is just some more footage from this wedding. I've never seen performance like that. Have you guys seen? It's very like Cirque du Soleil. Um, so okay, so he doesn't have that many stories up, and I was hoping he would have more. Maybe his new wife does. Let's see her stories. Oh, that's just pictures of them. Come on, show us more of the wedding. I mean, just beautiful. Ah, okay. You know what I feel like? I feel like we're Real Housewives in New Jersey where we spent like 10 minutes on that random wedding. Well, I actually liked the wedding because it was what's his name? Joe Gorga was officiating the wedding and it was a gay wedding and I love that and that made me so happy, especially Pride month just ended. But wow, I don't know. That wedding cost $1 million. It's in Saint Tropez. And I don't know if you guys saw the footage a few, days before of Paige parting with Alex Earl and all these huge influencers and all these celebrities. It was like the most wild. I just want to be a fly on the wall. Like if I was in that room, I can you imagine if like one of us were in that like we would stand out like sore thumbs. They're so gorgeous. She looks just like Audrey Hepburn, I believe. I agree. Um, okay. Let's move on. Let's move on to our next story. Katie Maloney. Katie Maloney has been she opened up on Not Skinny But Not Fat talking to Amanda about kind of post VPR. I thought it was an interesting timing for the article for the interview because obviously something about her came and like it already opened. It's kind of like calmed down a little bit. Um VPR is nowhere to be found. It was a little bit of like maybe filler because I was confused why she was being interviewed. But she did get to ask her about her relationship. So she said that she and Sheena are just fine. She said that she never sees Tom Sandoval ever, ever, ever. And she has not talked to Lala not once since the reunion, which is pretty sad, actually. She also felt pretty strong about the fact that the one thing that she can't handle is if someone takes away, like, um, betrays her trust. And she said that Lala betrayed her trust because she opened up about conversations that were had off camera, and she can never get over that. And it made me think, you know, reality stars just put themselves in situations on these shows where you're constantly having to kind of like F the other person over. No matter what, like if you go back on Katie Maloney's life, right? Between her and Stassi and her and Kristen and her and all of her friends through the years, like she had shit with all of them. And I'm not saying it's a Katie issue. I'm just saying like part of the thing you sign up for when you go on these reality shows is like to get into shit with your friends, to get into drama, to get into shit. And so to me, I think that um I don't know. I think it's kind of what you sign up for. Now, Amanda was like, "What's going on with Vanderpump Rules? You think it's coming back? Do you think it's gonna, happen?" And she goes, "I don't know, but I'm really enjoying my first summer off in 12 years." The way that I was feeling hearing Katie talk about this was, I don't think she wants to come back to VPR. Maybe she does because it's a paycheck, but like she seems so moved on from Vanderpump Rules. Ariana seems so moved on from Vanderpump Rules. Please, please, please don't bring Vanderpump Rules back. But please. And if you do want to bring it back, like bring back a show called Sir Rules or something else. Like I don't want Vanderpump Rules anymore. I don't want these people on my TV anymore. Is that horrible? Is that horrible? Like it's just not for me. It's just not for me. Um I've been feeling so much I feel like I've been feeling like cleaner without it. Now, Katie is interesting. The whole dynamic of Katie Maloney is so interesting because in general, I struggle. Like, I like her now. Hearing her talk, hearing her energy, hearing her vibes, her conversations, I like her. But why I struggle with that is because it doesn't feel genuine. Because why did I not like her for so long? Why was she so horrible on this show for so many years? If all of a sudden now she's just so free and like light and happy, something feels amiss. Katie to me has always been the most bitter, angry, mean, cold person on that show. So why all of a sudden she's like, I'm okay, everything's fine. I'm just happy for the people around me. Something feels real funky about it. And it makes me question like how genuine either the old Katie that we used to get was or the new Katie is. Like you're saying that you literally all of a sudden are just like so happy and free and light. Something is up. Something feels a little bit like there's a reason that the world that watched Vanderpump Rules struggled with Tequila Katie and Katie in general. And then all of a sudden now the world is just standing Katie. Like something, it's that whole dynamic of like, because it's because of Ariana. I'm convinced it's only because of Ariana. If she wasn't in Ariana's corner, the world would turn on Katie 100%. Ariana is like at the pinnacle. If you are on Team Ariana, you're loved. If you're on not Team Ariana, you're hated. Like that's the end all. Because for some reason, Ariana symbolizes on this show perfection. Like just like, like that's how it works. And I mean, when I watch her on Love Island, which we'll get into in just a minute, she is perfection. Like, don't get me wrong. Ariana is so fucking stunning on that show. It's like not normal. But it is weird how the Vanderpump Rules fandom all of a sudden became so tunnel vision for Ariana without any questioning. And Amanda asked her about that. Like, how did you feel about the fact that no, like they didn't ride so hard for you when you got screwed over by Tom Schwartz over and over and over and ended that relationship? They definitely didn't ride hard for Lala. And she said, you're right, they didn't. Like, yeah, that was hard. Yeah, I mean, like, we were all jealous of the fact that the world was so, team Ariana and so happy for Ariana. So sorry, I'm just like noticing my dress is a little short here. Um, it will be interesting. Brianna says it was the Tom edit. They had to make her look bad to make Schwartz look like, ah, shucks. No, I don't think so. I don't think that it was a lot of an edit. I think we all saw, like, we can't be all gaslit into thinking that we were like not shown the true Katie for 10 years. Literally for every single season. I've never seen Katie happy on that show. She seems a lot happier now in real life when she's on these podcasts or when she's in interviews or when she's at something about her, which is why I don't think Vanderpump Rules is good for her. I think she actually is quite an unhappy person on that show. But don't dare say it. Don't dare say it in real life or else people will kill you. You don't want people to attack you. And that's why they attack, is if you go against Katie Maloney and Ariana. Okay. Let's oh yeah, and then she also talked about something about her. She said it's going well. Um there's something about when she talks about that sandwich shop. It's like it lacks passion. I really don't understand. Like I don't understand I've got to make it to something. I've got to go. I will. I promise you. I will go. We have to talk about Love Island, and I won't give you too much, but I have to do it because this is essential information. And when we have an introduction like Casa Amor, like we did last night, this is a no ifs, ands, or buts. We need to talk about this. Let me explain to you why I'm pissed off at Love Island. Love Island threw me for a loop last night. As you guys know, this is my first time ever watching Love Island. I had no idea that this was like an actual, show that I would be into. No idea. But it's really, really good. And I am in. I am all in like Teddy Mellencamp. I can't get enough of this show. I am so obsessed with the different personalities that they bring in and out. All the kissing and making out is shocking to my system. Like, I just can't function. All the gorgeous girls with their bikinis after eating, sandwiches constantly. All they do is eat their food and they look so perfect. The makeup, the hair, the guys are fun. Like, I just love it. But I've really, really fallen in love with some of the couples. And there's a couple, Kayla and Aaron, who are so cute. And then there's a couple, Cordell and Serena, who have been a slow burn, and I'm obsessed with these two. There's a couple other like kind of sort of couples, for example, Nicole and Kendall, and they're like kind of cute, kind of cute. But the Cordell, Serena, and Aaron and Kayla are getting so real. Like, the feelings are so real. And Aaron and Kayla are basically saying, I love you. And then, because they've been together since day one. And then Serena and Cordell, like, it's taken her a while to open up. And at first she wasn't interested. And then she got really into him because he got into someone else. And then now they're like really starting to open up and she's starting to develop real feelings. And then, and then, and then they introduced Casa Amor. They're getting up one morning. The guys are getting up on a normal Love Island. Yes, it's another Love Island day. I love that the narrator. I don't know who he is, but he's amazing. I have to do some research. And they all of a sudden decide to spring on this text. We got a text. The guys get a text. Casa Amor is open, meaning there's another villa. Had no idea this is in the cards. I was confused by Casa Amor in the trailer. Casa Amor is another villa just across the way. Just as gorgeous, right? Lights on, beautiful, perfect, white, clean, colorful, all the things. There are 6 new female singles over at Casa Amor. Men, are you willing to go? You have to decide right now. You don't have to. But if you want to go, you can go. And all of a sudden, like, of course, we've got Miguel and Rob and some of the guys that like aren't in relationships are like, let's go, dude. Let's go and find girls. But you got Aaron and Cordell who are like, ooh, what do we do? I feel bad, but also, isn't that why we're here, to test our relationships? This is their way of saying it. I'm here to test my relationship. And by testing my relationship, that means I have to be presented with hotties to decide if I need to be in my relationship or not. So all the guys decide, let's do it. Let's go to Casa Amor. And when I tell you, there were like kids in candy stores when they go to this new villa, they're so excited. And then the women walk in, and Miguel is like a little kid that just got a new puppy. He's like, these women, they're perfect. They are perfect. It's like they just took in a book all the perfect people for all of us. And they just said, oh my God, this is the one that you got to. And they found all the girls. They're like freaking out. Now, meanwhile, the girls come downstairs from getting their makeup done because Ariana all of a sudden shows up and they realize, oh my God, where's the guys? The guys went to Casa Amor. Immediately, you can tell Kayla looks like she's going to cry. So does Serena. The 2 girls that are mostly in love. Oh my God, they decided to go to Casa Amor, but then they realize that single men are coming to the villa. So now they get to get their single men. So the day progresses. The guys are living their best lives with those girls. These girls are freaking smoke shows. Bombshells, I tell ya. They look so good. The guys are so into it. They're having fun. They're flirty. Da, 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 da. The guys. I'm just going to say that if they presented me with those men, I would cry. There was not one of the new men that they presented or anyone that I would ever be into. Do you want a visual? Let's show you a little visual. Let's go to Love Island's Instagram, and I'm going to show you the video that they posted of the newbies walking towards the Oh, actually, this is really good. This is a picture of the girls with the guys. So this is the regular girls of Love Island, and then now they have the new guys. Okay. What the hell? What is actually happening here? I'm sorry. Not for me. This guy? I don't really know anything about this guy. This guy looks like a 7-year-old. No joke, he looks like a 7-year-old. The guy in the back, I don't really know much about him. And this guy over here, sweet, but he's wearing like a beaded necklace and has an accent so thick, like very confused by this group of men. Very not into them. Then we have this douche nugget. This is Rob. Okay, so these are the new guys. Guys, what is happening? Am I crazy that I mean, actually this one with the green shirt is somewhat attractive in this picture. I am not into it. I'm not into it. These are the regular girls. I want to try to find okay, here's the new girlies. You can't really tell from this picture, but when I tell you they are all so stunning. The Casa Amor girls are, and these are our regular guys. They're so cute. Cordell. I'm obsessed with Cordell down here. Okay. I can't help but think that the girls got so screwed. The girls got the short end of the stick so badly because the guys got put with such gorgeous stunners and the girls got stuck with like guys, like buff guys. Now, and also like didn't seem smart. Like these guys, I know one of them said he had like a good education, but I don't know. I was not into it whatsoever. So they all start making out during the challenge. They play a spin the bottle challenge. And Love Island is basically like, how many times can we see people interact with their saliva? Let's hit a Guinness World Record of how many people we can get kissing. Everyone's kissing, everyone's making out, everyone's like hooking up, everyone's kissing, everyone's licking. I mean, it was so out of control. You guys, your comments are killing me. Michelle says one guy even had a close up of a huge pimple on his nose. Why? Oh my God, it's so funny. Jennifer says challenges should be changing tires, following directions, and completing a meal kit and a Peloton workout. Like, let me see where you're at life. Oh my God, that is so funny. It's so true. Like, the challenges are like, who can hook up faster? Like, this is not what makes a husband. Just putting it out there. Anyway, the point is the guys are so much luckier. They're hooking up with these hotties. The girls are having to hook up with these guys. And then at the end of the challenge, all the girls just like leave the guys, right? We have Kaylor and Serena just like sitting on a balcony crying. And Kaylor was so distracting with her makeup. I don't know if you guys noticed this. I thought she looked like she had a sunburn. Her cheeks were this red. Someone needs to give Kaylor a little bit of like a tone. She needs a toner. She needs something to tone that shit down. It was red. She looked like she fell asleep in the sun that day. So it was a little distracting. But she and Serena are just like so sad, crying over missing their guys. And like, do you think that they're kissing the girls other than the challenge? No, I don't think so. Are you sure? Oh my God. Da, da, da. They're so upset. And they're like, I care so much about him. I hope they're being good. And then you cut over to the guys. Meanwhile, they're good guys, the ones that had the boundaries that said we're not going to be hooking up with anyone. Guess what Cordell and Aaron are doing? Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, I'm so devastated. Like men cannot be given temptation and not stay strong. We've seen this now on Perfect Match. We've seen it on this show. Like, it's really wild. Now I understand this is a show. This is Love Island. Like, you're supposed to be out there and young and hot and whatever, but like men can't be given temptation from new people without like they just can't. They don't I mean in general, right, on these shows. It was so sad. I was so sad. And a lot of you guys also were really sad. Like oh my gosh. She said the guys that they dropped in for the women were guys that you would see in a club in a strip mall on a Thursday night. It's so good. Cordell's like, I'm not going to be hooking up with anyone. I care about Serena. I've got boundaries. And then exactly like Leslie said, Cordell was making out as soon as that girl just smiled at him. He's like, I really like Serena. Like, I am definitely not going to, and his tongue is already in a mouth. But these girls are so like it's hard to cut the temptation because the girl comes to him and she goes, you know, it's so he's like, do you have chapstick? And she's like, it's so weird. I don't have chapstick, but I have lip gloss. But if you don't want me to put lip gloss on you, would you at least like some from a kiss? I mean, have you guys ever used that line? Hold on. Are your lips dry? Let me give you a little lip gloss. Wow, it was shocking. I was very devastated. I feel so bad for these girls. Like, it should have been the opposite. The guys should have gotten girls that were kinda eh, and the girls should have gotten the smoke shows. I'm so bummed. Anyway, it's such a good show. You guys, we're only like 19 or 20 episodes in. Please watch the show. We have an episode tonight, and then of course we're off tomorrow. Um, but I'll be here tomorrow, but we don't have an episode tomorrow night. Okay, let's definitely continue the conversation. Thank you so much for being here and leaving a comment and liking it and all the things. Thank you, Josh, for buying 5 memberships. I appreciate all of you guys so much. Thank you for being a doser. I'll talk to you tomorrow.